Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Freeing Your Mind podcast. I'm your host, Daniel Dukeman, and we're here today to talk about how we can always better our lives and improve ourselves and our mindset and our mental health and become the best version of ourselves that we can be and learn to thrive in our everyday life. So, today's topic is how to stop negative thoughts. So, a lot of times, once we get into kind of a bad space, all we ever see is the negative. For whatever reason, human nature, perhaps just the way our brain is wired, any number of things. So, I'm going to talk about some things today on how to break those negative thoughts and how to kind of flip that around into a more positive mindset. Okay, so when you have negative thoughts, they can tend to be all consuming and overwhelming and kind of just take over everything that you have going, where you essentially cease to see any good in anything. Uh, so, we're going to talk about that. Meditation, I think, is always a key thing. And part of that is just being able to dedicate some time every day to practice mindful meditation. And if you already meditate, then you've kind of figured out how that can ground you and recenter you and allow you to kind of just reframe things. If you don't meditate, start meditating. There's lots of information on the internet, apps, all sorts of things. Breathing exercises can also do the same to give you that opportunity to ground, recenter, and just reframe that mindset. One of the things that I'm a big fan of in the long term is positive affirmations. Because positive affirmations, we say things to ourselves consistently that are positive in nature, so they're not negative, and they're very much in the I form. Like, I am successful, I am happy, I'm compassionate, and whatever that happens to be. Um, like an affirmation that I've heard that's fairly popular, and it I don't think I'll misquote it, but essentially, every day in every way, life gets better and better. Every day in every way, my life gets better and better. So if you're going to sit there and you say that to yourself over and over again, maybe while you're walking to work or at some point during your day when you're by yourself, you just repeat those things. Look in the mirror and say those things. And it doesn't have to be that positive affirmation, but anything that works for you. Along with positive affirmations, I think that practicing gratitude is essential. Some people say count your blessings, and talk about like, hey, I'm blessed that I have a roof over my head. It's essentially the same as gratitude. I'm grateful I have a roof over my head. I'm blessed that my car operates properly. I'm grateful that my car operates properly, whichever way you like to frame it. But that gratitude, just sit down if you're in a bad space and negative thought. Take a break, rest your mind, slow your mind down, and just think of things that you're grateful for and say them to yourself. Get out a pen and paper and journal it down. Write down everything you're grateful for. A process that I've been doing for some time is I start my day with gratitude. So, 5 things that I'm grateful for, 5 things that I love about myself. You can write that stuff right down. You can think those things as you're laying in bed before you get out of bed in the morning, whatever works for you. Uh, Exercise is always a great thing. To me, especially um, anything that removes your mind from it. And so physical activity tends to do really well at that. Sometimes it's as simple as just getting out and enjoying some fresh air and taking a walk. Other times, maybe you want to go throw some really heavy stuff around in the gym and lift some weights and do some things that really let out some aggression, whatever works for you, but it's helpful. Avoid whatever it is that's triggering it if you can identify it. So, if you can identify it, avoid it. Well, how do you identify it? Well, you can replace the negative in your surroundings, all the negativities, if you can identify it. So spend time to identify the source. What are some things that happen throughout your day that give you that negativity, that make you unhappy? And maybe when you recognize it, be more mindful of it. So as you're going throughout your day and that trigger, that thing that upsets you, maybe it's, um, I don't know, somebody cuts you off on your way to work, or the coworker, or any number of things, right? Bad situation at home. Identify those sources, and if you can replace them, replace them. Some things that are common triggers, believe it or not, social media, family, friends, music, TV, and news. I don't know when the last time y'all watched the news and actually saw something positive on the news. Pretty much non-existent. So the news may be a source of that, that maybe you were listening to the news while you were getting ready for work and those negative things, right? So remove the news, turn it off. The world's going to keep turning. You'll catch the highlights, but the most important thing in your life is what's going on in your sphere of influence, what's happening around you, and how you are able to find happiness. What's going on in some other country really isn't going to affect you in the grand scheme of things. Still nothing wrong with knowing and being informed. But with the 24-hour news cycle, that tends to really beat us down because it's negative story after negative story. And then it's on a loop. So it just keeps going. So turn off the news. The type of music that you listen to can affect how you think. TV shows that you watch or movies that you watch, those that you associate with. Sometimes we don't get to pick, but think about the people that you associate with. Are they feeding you? Are they filling you up and making you happy? Or are they draining you and filling you full of negativity? Social media. Social media is huge. We spend probably more time on social media than we do really focusing on any one thing, even day, at least most of us do. If you're over consuming on social media, there's a good chance you're going to have some negative thoughts. It gets really easy to get down on yourself if you're not careful. And that's one of the dangers of social media is that most people very much post only the good stuff, right? That highlight reel of how perfect their life is. When in reality, their life is every bit as hard, difficult, and messed up as you think yours is. We're all humans. We all have a mess that we deal with. Nothing goes perfect all the time for everyone. In fact, most of the time it's quite the opposite. We make plans, they don't happen the way we want them to. Eventually we get to where we want to go, but we get the long way around. It's just life. Everybody's part of it, and no one's immune to it. So social media becomes really easy when a lot of people on social media don't really speak the truth. They just post the good times. That's why I usually try to make a point to talk about good times and bad times if I'm experiencing them, because it's not a secret. I've never pretended to be the happiest man on the planet. In fact, that's so much what this podcast is about. I've been willing to share the experiences that I've been through that were really difficult, and the depression, anxiety, and all the hard things, in hopes that it could help you, the audience. So, what are some other things that we can do? We talked about gratitude. What's good in your life? And don't say nothing, because there's always something good in your life. God allowed you to wake up this morning, get out of bed. You get to choose how your day goes. So, yeah, it might be really easy to focus on that the weather's crappy outside today, but you can be thankful that it's not too hot or too cold, or just be thankful that you've got good things going. There's always good things. There's always good going on around you. It's your choice whether you focus on it or not. Never be afraid to talk to anybody. And it doesn't have to be going to a therapist or anything like that. Certainly can be, but talk to a close friend, talk to a close family member, somebody that you can just talk to and vent and unload a little bit and work through some things. Uh, Changing that negative thought, a lot of it's going to be interactions. So when you think negatively and you're in that negative space in your mind, probably the last thing you do is talk positively to other people. So make a point to be positive towards others, compliment others, Have positive conversation with others. Complete strangers, maybe that you see on the street or in a store. Compliment them. Be nice to them. Talk positively to them. And what that does is makes you feel better because you're putting a smile on their face, which is like to help them, right? So you can serve others. If you're going to help people and that puts a smile on their face, serve others. Open the door for someone walking into a building. Help someone put their cart away at the grocery store after they unload their groceries. Any number of things. Choose your intention. If you don't want to be full of negative thoughts and you feel like your life is miserable, choose your intention. Because if you choose negative thoughts, that's your intention. If you say, well, I don't want to be negative, I don't want those thoughts. I want positive thoughts. Focus on what you want. What do you want, not what you don't want? I want to feel happy. I want positive thoughts in my head. Set that intention. By setting that intention, that allows your brain to think differently, much like all these things that we talked about. The way that we treat ourselves is a huge reflection on the way we feel day to day. And speaking from experience, I know this. And when we're stuck in that negative space, we tend to cast nothing but negativity out on those around us, which makes them negative, unhappy people. And so if you walk into work and you spout a bunch of negative stuff and you're angry and pissed off and immediately show how much you don't want to be there and how much you hate the space and everything else, what do you think that's going to do for the rest of the day at work and to your coworkers' day? They're all going to see that. They're all going to feel that. And you're setting the tone for them. Now, of course, they get to choose whether they accept that or not. And that takes some practice because maybe it's possible that you're full of negative thoughts because somebody came in and threw a bunch of negative thoughts at you and it kind of ruined your day. But you get to choose. So set your intention otherwise. Be grateful. Practice that gratitude. Focus on the good. Do the things that you need to do. And if you don't want to have that negative day, start your day off with gratitude. Be thankful. Say your prayers. Be thankful for everything you have. Be grateful for the blessings that you have in your life because they are many. And if you really sit down to start taking account of them, you'll find that you run out of time to write them all down. So even in the darkest storm, in our darkest hour, there's always something to be grateful for. Take time to start your day in a way that's going to put you in a positive space. Perhaps meditate before you go to work. Perhaps getting some exercise before you work. Eating healthy is always a huge thing, whether you're in a negative space or not, but eating healthy food will actually make you feel better instead of worse. Take time to care for yourself and make time in the beginning of your day as part of your routine to care for yourself. Because how we set our day, the intention of our day, often sets more than just our day. It sets the day for others around us, and it sometimes sets our week. So take time, set your intentions, be grateful, practice gratitude, be polite to others, share your love and kindness, be the light. If you feel like you're in a dark space, turn your light up, share with others. And of course, as all this goes, none of it works unless you practice it regularly. So add a few things to your routine every day just to have that space available to you to really feel and give yourself time to feel. If you're feeling sad, sit and feel that sadness for a while. But when you go to do that, give yourself a set amount of time that you're going to sit and feel that sadness. And then when you're done, get up and go do good. Get up and get back to life and living it in a positive, healthy, and happy way. There's nothing in life that doesn't have a solution to it. We often need to just find the solution. And many times it lies within ourselves and how we think and act, the way that we control our own thoughts. And in the end, we are capable of controlling our thoughts. And if we choose to have negative thoughts, that's exactly what we're going to have. So learn to control your thoughts by controlling your habits and what you give energy to in this life. If you're pouring your energy into something negative, you're not going to get anything positive in return. So set yourself up for success. Surround yourself with the right people. Surround yourself with the right mindset, mind frame. Be grateful. Love one another. Be compassionate towards others. Serve others. Be the good that you want in your life, because that light that you cast out of good will come reflecting back towards you, and you will see that light in your life as others practice what you practice. I hope you all found value in this episode today. And if there's anything I can do to help, please reach out. Let's talk. We'll have a conversation. If you're just getting started on your mental health journey, on the journey to healing and learning to thrive and live your best life, reach out to me. I'm happy to talk, and we can talk about different options that are out there and things that you can do to help to set yourself up for success every day and have somebody to talk to when times are tough. You can reach me on Instagram, Facebook, or at the email in the show links. You guys have a great day. Happy Halloween. Love y'all. God bless.